Happy birthday, Ron Wood of the Rolling Stones. Man, one of the most influential rock bands of all time. Ron Wood, probably one of the most underrated rock stars, rock guitar stars ever. You know, there's a deal between Mick Jagger and Keith Richards when they started the Rolling Stones that they would be in every song, no matter what, they were just going to put Jagger Richards. That's who wrote the music, right? They got the songwriting credits. They hired other band members to play with them. To the best of my knowledge on them, that's the arrangement, okay? So Ron Wood is often not the face of the guitar of the Rolling Stones. And we have to also remember, I'm saying the Rolling Stones because that's his most popular band, right? But he also played with small faces, Rod Stewart, Jeff Beck, one of the best bands ever, right? I mean, one of the best guitarists ever. Ron Wood has been around quite a bit. He's always in the side. He's not ever in the limelight, but he makes the limelight shine. You know, I really admire people like him, chill and laid back. That dude, at the time he came out, don't forget the Stones, you know, this is early rock and roll, you know, right after Chuck Berry. Okay, when the Brits were looking over here saying, what are these guys doing in America? And they took pretty much our, well, I won't get into that. That's a different video, the history of British rock, you know. But let's just say they like our American blues and they like our Chuck Berry style rock and roll. That's for sure. Everything they've done from that point onward has been influenced by that. Well, the world over. Everybody got hit by those guys. Grand slam. Just unbelievable, right? So Ron Wood is often playing some of the most memorable parts of the songs. Now, I don't have a list ready or anything like that. I just got done doing guitar lessons at my little guitar shop down here in Key West, the little tiny island of Key West. And I thought when I saw it was his birthday earlier, I quick try to put a little video out. You know, when I was actually reviewing a guitar for a friend of mine who I repaired his guitar, and I thought it would be a cool way to message him that I had finished his restoration or whatever you call it. You know, just got his 1960 harmony guitar back to par, you know, playability again. And I quick shot a video out at him. I had noticed the Ron Wood's birthday then, but the video didn't go in depth enough. And some of the parts, Ron was not even playing them, right? So I was doing it for a tribute to his band, Rolling Stones, all right? But I picked Honky Tonk Women. They are tuned open G. Keith Richards is. Ron Wood is most likely in standard. I don't know. I didn't look it up. I just used my ear. I turned it on real quick, went over it, got the main framework for it, and that I'd shoot this tribute out to him on his birthday. Happy birthday, Ron. Born in 1947, so he's about 74, 5, something like that, right? He's in his 70s right now. Looking good, too. Here's the thing about the Rolling Stones. They look the same age for 75 years. And no offense, guys, but you age real quick and then you just preserve yourselves, I guess. I don't know what happened there. I love it. All right, so I play this in standard, but I tried to get the open G sound out of it a bit. Just even by the way I'm making my G chord here. I like to do this kind of a power chord version. When I slowed the video down that I watched a couple live shows of them. You know, the studio, whatever. There's all kind of studio wizardry and trickery on there. People can layer over themselves, everything. I want to hear how you can actually play the song. If I'm going to sit here and try to figure it out, make a tribute video, I don't have the studio trickery with me, nor do I want any of that crap. I want to see how these guys play this song, right? That big old G, big old G. I bumped my guitar and I knocked myself out of tune. I apologize. Maybe a split second here. There we go. My ears become sensitive and I'll drive myself insane if I'm out of tune a little bit. Yeah, right when I bend over just now to pick up what I dropped, I bumped the tuners, like 3 of them in a row. Okay, so thank you. Apologize about that. Now, I'm doing this G like a power chord. And by the way, you don't let it ring out the whole time. That doesn't sound like it at all. You got to recognize when to start the note, when to stop the note or chord, okay? On this one is G, stop. Stop. Right? So you got to get used to that. Either palm muting over here. I do a combination of both. I do here. If I'm doing a chord here, and then, you know, if I don't have any fingers to mute over here, I'll mute with my hand here. If I'm on a chord here where I can mute over here, then I do that as well. Let me look, for example, like A, right? The C. So I just slap my pinky. I'll also with my hand, you know. So you can do it with your left hand, just with your right hand, or both. I like both. I've been playing a long time though, since I'm just a little lad, and I'm like an old wizard lad now, old, way over the hill, heading down the other side. You know you're getting further over the hill when the speed starts picking up, but anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm more vibrant and lively now than ever, actually. But at any rate, so back to the Rolling Stones. You see the chords I'm using is G, C, and then I'm throwing that sus4 in there. See it? Right? And then I guess, let's see. Oh yeah. So it's got, even from the beginning, right? The intro. You got this little like in the open G. It's a riff played, I guess I'd say, in the G chord form. So you're chasing this G chord form right here. You want to bend up to this note. So it's like you're going to play these two, but you're going to bend this one up. I changed fingers because I need a couple to bend. See, right here, watch. If you only have strong fingers, you could. Mine can't bend this up to this sound, so I use 2 fingers. One to fret it and push, this one to help push. This one stays put and doesn't bend. And when it goes up to the C, you do the same idea on any of the chords for the song over the A, you know. Over the E. I'm sorry, the D. I can keep going into this Hendrix version, is what I call it, of the G chord. If I want to play the bar chords like this, I either have to angle my guitar neck up. I don't like to put a lot of pressure on my wrist like this. I've been playing for like 7 or 8 hours today, giving lessons all day, and then pumping out a couple videos. So I need to always be aware to keep correct form. I don't want to wear myself out prematurely. Matter of fact, I'm hoping to take this one all the way with me, for sure. We'll hopefully try to make that happen if I can. So playing properly or with least resistance is a main goal of mine always. Okay, often there are things that may seem easier, easier to play in a way, but if your hand's getting sore one way, you like to have an alternative way to play something. This way you're not wearing out the same parts all the time. Use one group of muscles one way. So for a while I played the chords like this. See, when I'm doing that, it's making my wrist bend this way, right? And then during the song, I don't want to do every time a G the same way. I'll do this way. It puts exactly the opposite bend on my wrist, okay? And then when you start learning the guitar, they always say, never put your thumb over the neck like that. That's because they don't want you grabbing it like a baseball bat and choking up on it, because it kills your ability to make the proper fingertip to fretboard angle. Completely murders it. It's gone. You don't have any left. You must always maintain space between your hand there and the fretboard so that you can get a grip on your chords and get your angle, you get your fingertips in there. So even when my thumb is over, if you notice, there's still a little bit of space in there because I have to keep enough space for my fingertips to come in straight. If my hand's tipped back, do you notice my fingertips bump the strings below them? Well, you can't have that. If you're trying to play a chord, you can't bump adjacent strings. I mean, for some chords you do if you want to purposely mute out a note, but if you need to make this G chord, for example, none of those strings can be muted out. They'll have to sound out right. So there's one way, wrist bent in one direction. There's the other way, wrist bent exactly the opposite. At this point, I've figured out many ways to play the same thing. And within many of those ways, you almost can't tell that I'm changing the position and whatnot. It's incredible. I always thought I would so much, but I haven't. And it's very liberating for me because, like I said, I have no plans on slowing down. Matter of fact, I've been speeding up my playing as I'm getting older, meaning I'm doing it for more and more hours a day, and making playing more and more and more of my business than retail, repairs, rentals, all that, whatever that goes along with owning music stores and whatnot. But back to the Ron Wood, happy birthday. Ron Wood, happy birthday today. Man, June 1st, 1947, I believe. If I'm not right about that, please someone correct me in the comments. I don't want to give out improper information. To the chorus. Well, she's a it's the 1 to the 5, 1 to the 5. If you guys know numbers, the song would be 1, 4, 1, 2, 5. And then the chorus is 1, 5, I'm sorry, I have to think of it in my head to see when she's. this, move it up 12 frets, right? And then you have where all those other little leads are coming from. This whole song is salt and peppered with this. It's actually a pedal steel guitar riff, so it's this countrified. It's country, really, you know. The name of the song, Honky Tonk, is just about a honky tonk bar. That's slang for country bar, you know, country music bar. Move it up a 12 step, you know, 1 octave. Over here now you can pick it. You can hybrid pick it, which means pick on the top string and then finger the string below it, which is my favorite. And then, you know, so I can do, let's see, G. And then here, you know, for the C. Right, because there's my C. You know, you're taking a C power chord, and then right here, because you're going from your A chord form, right, to your G chord form of C, which is really hard for your fingers to do, so I would not recommend trying to do this. This is your C, I'm sorry, right here, C chord form. Hurts the fingers big time. And a matter of fact, nobody really uses that chord unless your hands are giant. You'll use them in part. You use half of it, like this way for this part, or just like this in the middle, or just like this on the bottom. All of those are usable. Trying to do that whole chord sucks. So I don't like to do it. I don't even like to show it. People hurt their hands doing it. And if you come in here and your hands are way bigger than mine, I'll show you all day long, whatever. Other stuff too. All right, watch. So if to travel that lick, you know, when we're in G, or G, this is an open G chord, if you don't know. If you just pick your second, third, and fourth strings, or 4, 3, 2, however you want to look at it, that's a G chord. It's a complete G major chord. Does the same thing here. So there was a D. I grabbed the whole chord, but I could have just went for the small part of it, you know. I'm calling it the D because, you know, D, A, B, C, D. If you don't understand that, please ask me in the comments. I'll send you a video I made about it. Or you can search my YouTube channel. Go to the little magnifying glass there and just search about whatever words you type in. I have a video for almost everything at this point. Working over 600. I have like 610, over 600 videos on there now. So there's some really good content. In every video, I put some real good ones, real good little things in there for you all. Some powerful playing stuff, to be honest with you. This is stuff that you'll carry for the rest of your life if you pay attention to it. The song is very secondary to me. I'm doing this for Ron Wood's birthday, by the way. Tribute. Happy birthday, Ron Wood, right? But I'm also loving the song and giving a lesson to my subscribers. And then I even hear some like shuffle Chuck Berry's. Well, of course, every Stone song, every Keith Richards song has some Chuck Berry in it. It's like his thing, if you didn't know that. For maybe you younger people that weren't aware of that. When he first started out, that was like, you know, what everybody could say. They were like, oh man, who's that cool Chuck Berry clone, you know? It is what it is, right? He liked his riffs, so he used his style. Nothing wrong with that. We all borrow from each other. The Stones songs do not sound like Chuck Berry songs, per se, right? But the essence is there. And I'll argue that what the Stones did was just take it from they did take from generations before them, but then arguably every generation after the Stones is taken from the Stones. So it's a give and take in the music world. There's only 12 notes. We're all sharing them, man. So there's nothing you can do about that. All right, let me just show you how to chase these riffs around. If you want to just do the solo, you know, I already mapped it out for you, right? G, C, G. Then he goes to the upper whole steps here, A, and then to the D, then the G, D, G, D, G. The chorus, G, D, I'll come up here, I'll do it this way, G, G, D. You can add that in there. That's the same as doing the D here. And adding your pinky on the, see here's my D chord, right? D power chord in the A chord form. If you hit this note on the B string, okay, 8th fret, that gives you the D sustained tone. Give me 1 second, that would be D, T sustained 4. So anyway, you get this Chuck Berry part in there a little bit later. That's the entire. That's all the progression. Okay, that's what it is. So then though you have this, which is sometimes during the solo too, you hear a lot of that kind of shuffle that. Idea for soloing there, you know, I'm taking my G here and opening up to that open G. When I'm on my C, I'm on my C here, right? Because there's C. Except where you're going, you know, for the rhythm, you're doing that. I'm talking about the riffs, right? The soloing. Because Keith is probably doing most of this in his opening tuning, okay? He's probably going. And then, you know, all that sustained 4 stuff. And I think that Ron is probably doing these other leads. So you can follow everyone. G, C, I'm sorry. Happy birthday, Ron Wood. I hope I did you good on this one, buddy. And man, I hope you just have decades more rocking out like that. You are a true rock star. You are an underrated, underspoken, underrecognized guitar hero of the you know, since the beginning of rock, since the beginning of guitar, really. You're a true rock hero. A matter of fact, you're one of the first people to invent the roll. You and your friends were some of the first people ever to invent the role of rock star. Congratulations, Ron Wood. Happy birthday. Love you, man. My people watching the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, drop me a comment. I really appreciate you all. Thank you very much. God bless. Rock on.